Hello everyone, I'm Jackie Hayes. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Perth in WA, and today's challenge for my ladies was to do a car on a card, and unfortunately I said car on a card, and one of my beautiful ladies has sent me a card in the shape of a car with the card, and I think it's absolutely brilliant that she read my email correctly, but then I've missed the D off a car. But it's good because we're getting people to do challenges every day, and really to keep them busy. Some of them aren't still going out because it's not safe for them to do so. I don't dislike staying in, so I'm not got a problem with it, but some people like to go out every day and still can't. But keeping them busy is a good thing. But this is a card I've come up with today, and it is embossed on here, but it's using an embossing paste, and it's called Shimmer White Embossing Paste, and it comes in a pot like this, and I'll show you how to do that. My stamp set that I'm using is Geared Up Garage, and that's this one. It's for Father's Day and Best Dad. You're a Classic, which I've used on my card. You Jumpstart My Heart, and All Geared Up, which I've done in the middle. So there's the middle bit that I've done. These are punched, cut out with the gears, and this comes with its own Thinlits dies, and it's Garage Gears it's called, with the Thinlits, and it's got quite a few bits. I can show you where I have actually cut some of the things out and I've not used them, like this full set of gears, and that's one in silver. This is a part of the stamp set that I've used before, but only used the middle bit. So this goes together like that, and you put whatever saying you like. It usually punches out the You Jumpstart My Heart or Best Dad fits in there, so that's quite a good thing. I've got a car here that I've already punched out but not used. So that's, and it is a cling stamp, so you never have to worry about them falling off your blocks. As you see, this is a cling, and it's still sticky. Right, I always keep a piece of the card or whatever it comes in, I usually keep, but this one was my first one that I threw away, so I put a bit of wax paper on it, and it stops them sticking to the lid. The bit that I'm going to do, I'll start off the card first, and I've got Smoky Slate, which is a A5 scored at 10.5, and then I've got the blue, Balmy Blue, and that is 14.5 by 10, and Basic Grey, which is 9.5 by 14, and then Whisper White for the inside, and that is 10 by 14.5. So I'll get started with this, and first of all I'm going to show you how to do the embossing, which I've got on here, and it's the embossing paste, and it comes in a pot which I've just shown you, but also you have the, just move them out of the way, you have the spatulas that go with it, and these are called palette knives, and there's 3 in a pack of palette knives. Not quite sure how much they are. Palette knives, 3 in a pack for $9, and they've got like a little trowel, a spatula knife, and then one for doing a larger area. So I'll move them out of the way first. And what I'm going to do is, I've got my silicone mat, and I've got my basic grey, and then I've got, it's not in the catalogue anymore, this is a stencil, and I just put a little bit of I've forgotten what, I think I ought to write things down when I'm doing these because I keep forgetting what they are. This is tape, and I'm going to just fold that over first and stick it down so it doesn't move once I've got it on. That might stay where it is. This paste is, you have to keep this firmly closed, and I will get a baby wipes, because you have, once you've done the pasting, you have to wipe it off the mat and this grid straight away. And I'll just that didn't work. Right, so just going to lay that as if you put in some cake decoration on, and then just keep smoothing it in and wipe it off, and put that back in there, and just keep wiping it off. It doesn't take long. I need to just go back over that a little bit because it's missed those little bits. And it's, you can hear the grittiness of it because it is a shimmer, and it's got sparkly bits in it, so you keep just smoothing it off. I think that's about it. And it's up to you how much you want to put on it. I'll just fold that down now and fasten that up. Put that back in the bag to keep it so it's fresh. I've had this one quite a while and it's not gone off, so I'm pleased about that. Then I'll just wipe this bit off my palette knife. And that one's all right. I'm going to lift this off and just prise my card down. Perfect. Then we've got to let that dry. So it's quite, I put a little bit more over it. I've spread it over. Wipe my silicone mat off. I'm going to just wipe all this off first, because if I don't, it'll just stay on there. Take the tape off. I don't want that on him. This brickwork one, grid, has gone out of the catalogue. We can't buy this one anymore, but I do really like this as a brick wall. And the stencil, should I say, it's gone out. So, and all I'm doing is using a baby wipe to just get all this off first. If you've got some soapy water, it's just as easy to wash it off in soapy water, but it would mean me going into my kitchen to do it. So now I've got the bulk of it off, it won't stain, it won't stay on there. So I throw that bit away, put this on one side, and we can get back onto doing the card. Now that is just drying. It's not touch dry yet, but it won't take long. By the time we come to mount our card and everything together, that will be dry, so it doesn't take that long. Just move all them out of the way. The bit that I'm doing next, I'm going to put stamp some cars and the toolbox, and then this oil petrol can. I'm going to stamp them off on the blue card, and I've got some spare card that I'm going to use to keep them separate. I'm using I'm using black Memento, or should I say Memento Black, and this is going to be for the car first. Okay. Press it down so that the ink goes firmly on the car, which it has done. And then, yeah, I'll just get that oil can on there. It isn't an oil can, I keep saying oil, it's petrol. Fuel can. So that's that one. And then with the toolbox, I'm going to stamp it on this one. So we've got 3 things there. I'll just wash those off. And this is a chamois that I'm using to wash them off. And all I've done is clean them today under cold water. And you can see that they are coming nice and clean. That's that bit. Just move that. Put the ink out of the way. And I've fetched in my Big Shot. And I've got my magnetic plate on my Big Shot. So that I can put 1 or 2 on together. I'll just cut these little bits off. I don't want all those on. Just a bit of rubbish. And this is the die for this. And if I get it's not in the right place because the magnet's making it jump. Apparently, if you buy the new magnetic plate, it doesn't jump at all, so that would be interesting to see, because you get on these and the plate makes them magnets move about, the dies move about. So that's that bit. Then put the fuel can on there as well. Can I get that on? I can't get that on yet, so I'll just leave that off a second until I've gone through with it. And this one, is it going to fit on? Yes, it will. And I can put that on there. Then I've got a top plate, just making sure none of it's moved, which it hasn't. And that's cut nicely. Okay, that one's all right. And the car has cut all right for that one. That's cut out nice. And then this piece, oops, come on. Yep, I'll just be able to clear those off in a minute. We'll just cut the die, the petrol can off with this die. Now it will fit on. It was the car die that was in the way, but this one just and that's for the inside along with the cogs. Just move all those, and then I'll just take my big shot out of the way. And we'll just really then start assembling. It's quite easy to do this card. I'll just poke this out with the take your pick tool. That's the little bits that I don't need in it. And I've got the Balmy Blue, and that is just going to be stuck on with my Tombow glue. And that's okay. With my, not quite dry yet that, but I can carry on doing this. The centre stamp is done in Balmy Blue, and that is all geared up to celebrate. So while that is drying, if that doesn't dry quick enough, then I can just dry it off with my heat tool. I'll just stamp that. Perfect. And I'll dry that off as well. Clean it off. And I can fold this up, because now I've finished with that. And put this one on first. I've not raised this up. I've only just done with Tombow glue. And put that in that corner. Then these cogs, just a tiny bit round the cogs, and it will come out. Yeah. And it's all right, perfect. And I can stick that in the middle then. So that's the centre bit that I wanted. I don't want too much on it because it's a place where you really write. And it's all right. Happy with that? That's not quite dry yet, but I've still got 1 or 2 more bits to do, and I'm going to put dimensionals on these so that they are raised up. Just make sure you've got plenty on, because it's going over the paste. You need to make sure it's going to stick. Just a fraction too high, that's better. That's going to be all right. And you should take your pick tool again. I might just dry that off with my heat tool, my heat gun. And just to be on the safe side. Oops. Yeah. Now that's dry. And because it's got the embossing paste on, I'm going to use the extra strong tape, the tear and tape, so that it will stay on. It's all right, I'm quite happy with that. And then just use it, make sure it's stuck all over. Just lift that up. And I always, when I'm doing this, I always fold it backwards. And then if it's not really where I want it, I then can just lift only half of it off. I don't have to lift it all off. It's just something that I've always done with this, so I'm just getting that first little bit up, that's it. And then better. So it's just deciding which is the best way to do it, that way. And it's not quite straight, so I'll just lift that off. As you can see, it's only half of it to come off rather than all of it. That was a good example to use, actually. Oh, that's straight. Happier with that. Oh, it's not supposed to tear off in my hand. We'll just take that other bit off now. Things do go wrong more often than not. So that's that done. Tear that off and tear that off. So there's the top layer all done. Make sure I've got it the right way around before I start sticking everything else on. And put that on, lid on my Tombow glue. Use your take your pick tool and just take these bits off the top of the dimensionals. It's brilliant for that. I'm going to put that up there because I want to put my spanner down in this corner. And my toolbox can go in that corner. Then with this piece, it's just just over 1 3/4, 1 7/8 by 9 centimeters long, and that's going to have Euro Classic on it. Sorry, move my chair. And that's going to be done in Memento Black. Just make sure I've got it all. Yeah, it's better. Try and get it straight. Spot on. Made a change. I think I must have had 3 practices at getting it straight this morning, which is not very clever. Right. And then I've got the banner triple punch, and I'm going to just put this in here, and I'm going to just make it into a banner on here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And just line it up so it's central. Yeah, it keeps moving. Don't know which is moving most, me or the paper. Oops. So there's the banner part of it, and that was just without me shaking. That was really good. So then I'm going to put that raised up. With the dimensionals. And don't want it straight. No, I like it on the corner like I've done the other one, I think. Yeah, it's all right. Now on this I've got a key here, and unfortunately they're not in the catalogue this time, the little embellishments, and a spanner on this end, and I quite like them, but I'll show you what I've done with my embellishments. This is a advent calendar that was in the summer, in the winter catalogue, in the Christmas small catalogue, and instead of making it into a advent calendar, which I didn't want to do because my grandchildren have all got advent calendars, I put all my embellishments in it, well, a lot of mine, and this one's got garage metal embellishments, and you just pull out the drawer and there's the embellishments in there. And then when you don't want to use this, if you wanted to change the wording and everything like that, for most of them I've left them not written on, they've just got holes in them. But the first ones I made a mistake and wrote on them. Then I decided that the best thing to do was stick one on the outside. So I'll take a key and a spanner out of there, and that can go back in. I found that when I'm doing, I didn't know how to stick these on to start with, and I tried quite a few different things, but I found Tombow glue was the best way to stick it on, and it's a bit messy because it can get on your fingers, but I might just, yeah, that's stick there. And then with this, there is a flat side and a raised side. The flat side obviously is where you put your glue. Come on, get out. And put that in the corner there, which has worked well for that. Now the next little bit I've got to do, I'm finishing off, is just put some Wink Stella on the windows and touch up the little bits. I don't want to do all the car, but I'll just do the windows and the hubcaps and the lights. And I've done the grill for that, where it's supposed to be stainless steel. And then for the I've done all this, all the toolbox with the Wink Stella, because usually toolboxes are shiny anyway, so, and the tools are definitely shiny, well, they should be shiny. So move that onto one side, and there's my 2 cards finished. And they can be for Father's Day, a birthday, your classic, all geared up to celebrate, and that's why I've left those, so that they are for any way you want to do it. Father's Day, anniversary, you don't have to stick with Father's Day card. There is a Father's Day in there, Happy Father's Day, but that makes it very one-sided card. You can only use it for that, which I didn't want to do. If you enjoyed my video today, please let me know by leaving a comment or subscribing. If you would like to have a catalogue, They are $5 each, and they started on the 3rd of June and finish on the 30th of May. They are absolutely packed solid with all different ideas for cards, and lots of ideas on how to use your embellishments as well. Like I've just used 2 on mine, which aren't in here unfortunately, but it's the embellishments change mostly every year. And so does the designer series paper, that changes every year. This is the embossing paste that we've used, and for a tub of embossing paste is $15.75, and in that you get 4 fluid ounces or 118 mil, and that would, well, I've had this one about 2 years now, and I've nowhere near down the end of it, and I've had card classes doing mine. There's the designer paper. It comes in 12 by 12 and 6 by 6s, so you can choose which one you want to do, whether you like the 6 by 6. We've got all the gems and things for doing shaker cards, which you can use the beads for. If you would like to become a demonstrator and you've been sitting on the fence for a while and you think, oh well, I want quite a big order, don't pay for a big order. Become a demonstrator at $169 and you will get $235 worth of products out of the catalogue, and it'll be your choice. If you wanted, for instance, the a bundle, and it's, how can I explain it? If you wanted a bundle and it is $100, you could get that on your first order, and then you've still got $100